Hey everyone. So it is Thursday. We got home from our trip yesterday morning, or yesterday midday, and I owe you a video by tomorrow, Friday. If you hadn't noticed, I've been trying to do videos on this channel on Fridays and Tuesdays. So tomorrow's Friday, and this is the first filming I've done. Today's Thursday. And to top it all off, today is a misty, rainy day. So this is going to be one of those race against the clock type of videos to see how much I can get done on a rainy day with a deadline of tomorrow morning. And what's on the agenda is finishing up the Christmas decorations and then giving you a tour inside and outside. But first, I've got to feed the animals. Get Bella outside the window asleep. She actually did really well while we were gone. I didn't see any major destruction. She killed a gopher, caught and killed a gopher, I'm guessing. And I didn't see anything that was chewed on, that was something she hadn't started before we left. Except for last night after dark, I was going down into the pasture to give her food for the night. And I found this little tiara thing with reindeer antlers on it. I'm like, did she attack a little girl that broke into our property while we were gone? And then I brought it in to show Emily, and Emily's like, she had ordered those for our trip that we went on. They didn't show up in time. So the Amazon person stuck it through the gate, ignoring the sign right above it that said, dog will eat packages, please leave them outside. So there's probably 5 other tiaras somewhere around the property that I'm going to get to go on a scavenger hunt for. But because we had the signs up, Amazon did credit our account for those, for that package. Somebody woke up. Good morning, Bella. Good morning. Hi, sweetie. Sit. Good girl. Oh, yes, you got to give me the paw. Loves to hold hands. It's her favorite thing. And then to nibble my fingers. No, we don't need to do that. Don't need to do that. Okay. Good girl. Good morning, Daisy. Hi. You ready for some breakfast? Okay. Oh, I just lost it. I'm coming. There you go. Want to come in? Okay, Bella, your turn. So I've gotten roasted by a few people in the comments for feeding Bella kibble. Now this kibble is grain-free, soy-free. It's, as natural of a product, as pure of a product as we could find. And I don't plan to have her on that forever. I would like to have a more natural diet for her. Ideally, no kibble at all. However, it's not super realistic, especially right now when she's eating at least 6 cups of food a day. I don't know what kind of independently wealthy people are commenting on these videos saying she shouldn't be eating kibble. But right now, at least, that's what she's eating. So we've got to get all these pumpkins put away. And by put away, I just mean not on display. Pumpkins are going to go to feed us, to feed the chickens, and I've heard that cows like them as well. So we'll let Daisy sample them and see what she thinks. Maybe you too? Do you want to try some? While we're on the subject of what animals should eat what and what they shouldn't, I did get some comments, and I knew I would, about the poinsettias and Bella. Look how pretty those look with the dew all over them. First of all, Bella, as much as she chews on things, she has not shown any interest in any plant around this entire property. Even these dragon fruit, which she lays against, they have a few thorns. Some of them do, some of them don't. To me, those look like something good to chew on, but she doesn't. However, I went on to the American Kennel Club's website to check the toxicity of poinsettias, and it's actually very mild, meaning if they eat too much of it, they might get an upset stomach, maybe diarrhea, throwing up, but it's not going to kill them. I mean, maybe if she ate all those, but especially a dog Bella's size. So you can do your research yourself. There are so many plants that we grow that are toxic to animals. It's been my experience, especially with my chickens. You know, I grow castor beans in the tropical garden. I always have. And back when I would let my chickens roam free in the backyard at our old house, they would go and pick everything around those castor beans, but they would not touch the leaves of the castor beans, any seed pods that fell. So animals, no. You know, you don't see animals out in the wild just dropping dead all the time from poisoning because they have some kind of ingrained knowledge on what's good, what's bad. Maybe not all dogs, but dogs like Bella, who have been bred the same for thousands of years, they have instincts that some more modern lap dogs might not have. So it's good to know what's toxic and what's not, so you can marry that information with the behavior of your own dog. Okay, so what was done before we left on our trip, and what do we have left to do? I already mentioned the pumpkins. We got to get those hidden. The wreaths have been put on both gates. Now, I will tell you, I bought some solar Christmas lights for these wreaths because it's really not simple to get electricity on a moving gate. So they've got the 2 solar cells up here. I am on the fence. They're not as bright as regular plug-in Christmas lights, but I can't do that, again, on a moving fence very easily. And the far gate way over there that has a wreath and solar lights, those trees right there block some of the afternoon sun. Those go off like by 10 o'clock at night. They're like dimmed down to almost nothing, whereas these stay on a little bit longer. The TP trellis Christmas tree has they're solar as well. I've got 4 strings, so there's 4 solar cells at the top. Those have been the best performers. I've covered it in green lights, and then I went by with a couple of strands of multicolored. They're right out here in the center, so they get plenty of sun. Yesterday they were a little dimmer because it was like this. It was overcast all day. But I'm actually happy with those. We got lights on the fence going down to that little Japanese lantern there. We'd like to take it a little further. We'd like to take it all the way down to the corral if possible, but... And then we got lights on the eaves of the house. And then, of course, we got Daisy's barn looking nice and festive. Oh, and then we got the window box on the dormer of the cottage filled with poinsettias. So what's left? 2 more window boxes on the cottage, there and there with poinsettias. Swapping out the chrysanthemums here on either side of the garage, and those 2 in there as well with poinsettias. Now, from what I remember, I left these in pots. Yes, so that should be pretty easy to just slip these pots right out and slip the poinsettias in. These chrysanthemums, all 4, I'm going to plant up in the cottage garden, and they're going to overwinter here just fine. I'll put the zones, the hardiness zones for them on the screen here so you can see if you have some left over from fall, if you can keep them outside, and they'll just keep chugging along next year. I'm also probably going to take a lot of cuttings from them when they start to bush out in the spring. Chrysanthemums grow from cuttings extremely easily. This bed here, I'm going to try and trim the Dusty Miller down into little snowy mounds and scatter some poinsettias in there. We'll see how that looks. And I still haven't done anything with this pot that Emilie killed, literally massacred. So I'm going to remove this, and I hate that there's only 4 pots left. I don't like even numbers of things, but for now we're going to have to deal with it. I'm going to slip these blueberries out of the center. If you remember when I planted these, they're in pots in these larger pots. I'm going to have to repot these anyway because look, the Bermuda grass got all in here and that has to be removed. So I'll take out these summer annuals, pop in some poinsettias. I might get some Dusty Miller or maybe some more of this alyssum and put it around the edge. We'll call that good for the Christmas season. I can't wait until next year. All of these trees, the red buds, the cherries, the pears, they're all going to be big enough to have branches to be able to put lights in. So next year, it's going to be a lot different up here. Okay, so the rain's coming. Let's just get started. You're getting so dirty. Who cares? Okay, I'm liking that. These smaller ones over here, if I run out of poinsettias elsewhere, I put 4 in each of these. I could probably remove 1 in each one and still have it be full enough. So some of you said, and to be fair, you said the same thing on the patio cover, that when I put this metal roof on here, it was a big mistake because hearing the rain on a metal roof was going to drive me crazy. And yeah, I'm crazy. In love with the sound. Can you hear it right now? I can understand maybe some of you live where it rains all the time and that sound would be absolutely maddening. But for me, where it rains hardly ever, I love it. I love it. Here and up on the patio cover. And I've had the patio cover for 2 years almost, so I've been able to live with it for a while. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy the sound of rain on a metal roof, and if you do, if in fact you live where it doesn't rain that much. Or if you can't stand the sound, let me know where you live too. Does it rain a lot? That's my theory anyway. All right, so this pumpkin's been laying here for about 10 minutes and Daisy hasn't touched it. To be fair, she's probably never seen a pumpkin in her whole life, so it might take some time. I'm just gonna leave it there and I'll let you know what happens. Cows are supposed to love them. We'll see. I love it. So now I think what I'm going to do is these 4 pots coming down the driveway. I need to get in here and mow, but that's not great to do in the rain. So now at least this broken pot will allow me to see into the workings of the pot. I can't remember if I put a pot in a pot. No, it's just the pot in here. So what I'm going to do is remove all of these annuals and then slip the blueberry pot out and slip a poinsettia in the middle. And then we'll surround it with either some alyssum or some Dusty Miller. How good does that look? Unfortunately, it's a complete fraud. I just used some sprigs of Dusty Miller over there, and that's not going to hold up. At least I don't think so. Whoa, I'm so in love. This is a winning combination. I mean, look at that. The silver and red. Now, as I mentioned, this is probably not going to last more than a day. I don't know. I've turned on the water in there in the pots to thoroughly soak the soil. But it's like taking cuttings. You want to remove as much of the leafy growth as possible so the plant with no roots doesn't have to support a lot of top growth. Well, I'm doing this for the top growth. So 2 things about this. Number 1, I've got to go to the garden center or something and see if I can find Dusty Miller that is large enough on the affordable side. Now 6 packs, they're probably not going to fill this unless I buy a lot. Gallon-sized pots, I'd have to buy quite a few, and they're more expensive, I'm sure. So this look may not be continued this year. However, the second thing is I will remember that I love this combination next year, and I'll start early, either growing 6 packs larger or growing from seed, so that I have enough to really dress this place up with poinsettias and Dusty Miller together. Now, also, that brings us to poinsettias. Poinsettias actually grow here year-round. We have a subtropical kind of climate, weather, and I grew up in Ventura, California, and the poinsettia is the city flower. So we were very used to seeing, 10-foot tall poinsettias bloomed out at Christmas time. So I'm thinking when the season is over, I'm going to take cuttings of these poinsettias and grow on a whole bunch and see if I can keep them small and pinched back for next year. I know there's a way to do it. I've never looked into it, but I might give it a try. I have nothing else to do. Let's go check and see if Daisy's had any of the pumpkin yet. Doesn't look like it. She's more interested in the hay. So I'm going to run in for some lunch, dry off a little, and then I'll be back to work. The rain has stopped. The sun is out with lots of big puffy clouds. So I'm going to get back to work. She likes it.
Hey, Mikey!
It just started pouring and I got caught out in it. All right, water's gonna start filling up the big pond. Well, I don't know about filling up. All right, I'm going and getting warm and dry. All right, well, I have to apologize. We got rained out of our light tour last night. So I will film that tonight and get it on the next video. But take a look at this. The Dusty Miller is looking good. I'm shocked, although it was rainy and it was cold, so I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. I put the chrysanthemum balls there. I was just trying it out, but honestly, I kind of like the just touches of formality. You know, this is such an informal space that just those kind of very formal sheer spheres, I think they kind of bring a cool look to the place, especially with the white walls behind them. You can really see the shape. That might be something I keep. We'll see. Poinsettias look really nice. I mean, that bright red always adds such a pop of bright color. Now, as far as this is concerned, I didn't have enough. I only have 2 poinsettias left. Even if I took one out of each of those, that'd be 4. That's not going to do anything for this. So I think what I'm going to do is just shear this all back, probably dig it out and just make it look nice in terms of a nice mulch on top. And then I have all those ranunculus I started in the last video, and I'm thinking just plant those all in here and just have that beautiful single type of flower display here for spring. And then ultimately this entire bed, the stone structure and all, is going to be bulldozed to make way for our English formal garden. So that's the plan right now anyway. So that's it for this video, you guys. I will see you next time with a full Christmas tour inside and out.